Alright. Well, I'm gonna start off this video by saying, first of all, please don't turn in front of me. And second of all, I am Two Wheel Pursuit, and welcome to the Two Wheel Pursuit show. I have done some very not smart things. Some people may even consider them to be stupid. And the story I'm going to tell you guys today definitely falls into the stupid category. I've been buying bikes off and on, usually buying, bikes at a really good deal, and then turning around and flipping them and selling them for a profit. And this has been working pretty well for me until one of my bikes got stolen when I was trying to sell it to the guy. Also, just to address the elephant in the room, to say, obviously I have not made videos in a long time. I've been busy with other stuff and just haven't really gotten around to it, but every once in a while something so crazy happens that just have to make a video on it, and it does happen to be motorcycle related, so yeah, I'm mostly making this video to inform all of you guys about my stupid decisions, and hopefully you can learn something, take away from it, and not make the same stupid mistakes that I made. So let's get to the story. So, as I was saying, I've been buying and selling motorcycles, basically flipping them, but not exactly, because I buy them, I ride them for a little while. I had a KLX 250, a DRZ 400, bought both of those, and I owned them each for like under 2 months, and I sold them for some pretty good profit. With that being said, the last bike that I bought was a Honda GROM, and I bought it with the sole purpose of flipping it, and it did not go as planned. It was a little too trusting to the guy that I was trying to sell it to. So I bought this GROM for $2,000. It's a 2019, like 5,000 miles, in kind of rough condition, but I knew that I could fix it up fairly easily and flip it for some decent profit. The running price of 2019 GROMs around here is like $3,000, so there's an easy $1,000 in there of wiggle room. So I bought it. Was working on fixing it up, and I already had it posted for sale on Facebook Marketplace, and I had a few people interested in it. Just people seemed somewhat interested, but then I got this one guy who was like, I am sold on this bike, I want to buy it today, can you bring it to me? Red flag number one. He said, can you bring it to me, and I have cash in hand, I'm ready to buy it. And I'm like, yeah, cool, awesome, I'm gonna make some easy money here, just flipping the bike real quick. It did not go that way. So I plan to meet up with him the same day and we meet up at a middle school, and the dude I message him on Facebook Messenger, let him know that I'm there. He comes walking up to me, which is red flag number 2. Dude didn't show up like in a car or anything. He just came walking up to the middle school, which was kind of weird. And he was really doing his best to make himself seem like a trustworthy guy. We were having full-on conversations and everything, and about motorcycles, and he was talking about like he'd ridden dirt bikes and he really wanted a GROM. And so I'm like, yeah man, this GROM's pretty nice. I don't know, I don't think it's that nice, but if you want a GROM, I guess it was a pretty good deal. And he's talking to me about the GROM, and he asks if he can take it on a test ride. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Literally, I think every other bike that I've sold, people usually want to take them on test rides, except for my Gixxer. That guy just bought it right away. Didn't want to test ride it. But yeah, the KLX, the DRZ, you know, people want to test ride bikes. That's not that abnormal. The thing about the Honda GROM is it's such a low value motorcycle that I wasn't really too concerned about someone stealing it. It's also slow as hell, and the area where this guy was going to be test riding it, there was not really anywhere for him to go. It was basically a closed circle loop, and I'm like, okay, well, it's not really anywhere that this guy is going to go that he would be able to steal the bike. So I figure it's fine. He can take it for a quick little test ride. Big mistake. The dude gets on it, goes for a short little, he's just riding around, and he's like, yeah, this is pretty nice, you know, nice bike, man, I really like it. Apparently he liked it so much that he had a plan to steal it, and needless to say, it's entirely my fault. This is one of the things that I'm getting at, where I was really stupid about this. I did not ask for cash up front. I did not check his driver's license. I did not do anything before I let him get on that bike with the keys. Next thing I know, my dude goes riding off on right over a footbridge, over a river, and I'm like, he's coming back, right? He's just going over there. You probably, you know, see how it does riding over the footbridge, I guess. No, he went over the footbridge. There was no way I could follow him in my pickup truck, which I brought it to him with. So he was smart about it, because he had the whole thing planned out. He would go over the footbridge and there would be no way I could follow him. And needless to say, pardon my language, but I was pissed the fuck off. I could not believe that I was so stupid to let this guy get on my bike and just ride away with it. Especially when I thought, like, he was a trustworthy guy. I guess the moral of the story is trust no one, especially when you're trying to sell them the motorcycle. So the guy rides off on my bike. I just hear it going off in the distance. I thought that the story was going to end there, and I was never going to see it again. Hello, sir. Don't know why you were waving at me, but I'm not going to give you a ride on my bike. So I thought the story was going to end there. I thought the bike was gone for good. And I was miserable and like losing sleep over having lost this bike. I was really stressed out. I was really angry. And it was an all-around bad time. I mean, I just kept thinking of all the ways that I could have prevented this bike from getting stolen, and all the red flags that had popped up that I should have seen, should have thought about before letting this guy get on my bike. And it really got to me. But fortunately, I don't give up easily. And the story does not end there. It only gets better. So as soon as it was stolen, I called the police. Actually, while I could still hear the bike riding off, I was on the phone with police and like saying, hey, this guy stole my bike. He's riding off with it right now, and I can't, there's no way I'm going to be able to catch up to him unless I run over like 20 people. So they did send an officer who got there about 20 minutes later, because they weren't going to catch the guy right then and there, which I knew. It sucked, but I knew that was the reality of it. And so I made a police report. Really nothing came out of that, and I'm not trying to hate on the police here or talk negatively about them, because I'm positive that these police have way more important things to deal with than locating a $2,000 stolen bike. But that being said, I had nothing better to do, so I pretty much dedicated a week of my life trying to find this bike. I went back to the city where it was stolen, drove around the area, looking for the dude, looking for the bike, just any sort of lead. You know, I spent hours and hours looking on Google Maps trying to identify the most likely route that he would have gone with the bike and areas nearby, because I really felt like this guy didn't steal it and then you know, move it out of state or move it to another city. He didn't seem that bright to me. He didn't seem like he was I mean, he was kind of smart, because he did plan this whole thing pretty well. I wasn't able to follow him, but he was not that smart, because as it turns out, a week later I find the motorcycle literally in the exact same condition, listed on Facebook Marketplace, and he was trying to sell it. So, needless to say, this is where the story gets kind of interesting, because I had to put on my detective hat, because the police, once again, I don't blame them for this. This was actually on Veterans Day, so I only had one on-call detective, and he was busy with other stuff, and so I called the police department. I'm like, hey, I found the bike, I gotta get it back. I know, this guy has it for sale. What are we gonna do here? And the police tell me to contact the guy and schedule a buy, and they were expecting me to go meet up with this guy and get the bike back myself. And then, like, I don't know, like, what, I'm gonna show up there and the guy's gonna hang around and be like, oh yeah, hey, I stole your bike. Yeah, well, you can have it back, I guess. No, I don't think that's gonna work that way. So needless to say, what I do is I create a Facebook burner account, get in contact with the guy on there, be like, hey, I want to buy the bike. I actually offered him over what he was asking for it. I think he was asking $2,500, and I offered him $3,000 and said I would come pick it up that day. Obviously, I was not going to, because I don't know, this guy stole the bike from me. As soon as he sees me roll up in my truck, I'm pretty confident he's going to either run away or shoot me. So I'm finally able to arrange something with the detective, because the interesting thing is, the guy was talking to me over Facebook Marketplace, Facebook Messenger, and he's like, I would rather talk over text. So I told him, okay, I'll contact you over text. I'm not going to contact this guy with my real phone number, or even like a burner phone number. I really don't care that much. So I talk to the detective, give him the rundown. I tell him I am 100% certain it is my motorcycle, and he's like, all right, we'll get it back, we will do a buy. And so I gave the detective this guy's phone number. The detective contacts him as the person I was pretending to be, you know, my burner identity, I guess you could say. And he sets up a buy. Basically set it up in a really sketchy area, but it was nighttime, so he set it up in like a closed off area. The guy met him there, detective showed up, verified the VIN, it was a stolen bike, had the other standby units move in and arrest the guy. And of course the guy claimed like he didn't steal it, and he knew nothing about it, and that was a load of bullshit, because I later identified him from a photo lineup. And so he got charged with possession of stolen vehicle, or possession of stolen property, and also stealing the property, both of which are felonies, which I'm sure he probably pleaded down to some misdemeanor charge, and is on probation for like a year. So it was a pretty wild adventure getting that back. I wasn't expecting to necessarily even get it back. For a while I thought that all hope was lost, but I hope that, I think that I'm sure you guys will point out in the comments, you always do, about all the stupid stuff I do. And there were definitely a lot of stupid mistakes that I made in this particular situation, so I'm sure that you guys will point all of those out. But I really am making this video to tell you guys, if you're flipping bikes or trying to sell a bike, don't trust people. Do not trust people. Whatever you do, just, they're not your friends, no matter how they act. And I knew that beforehand. It's just, I really wanted to sell the bike. So I guess the moral is, no matter how much you might want to sell the bike, don't do stupid shit, man. Really don't. Gonna get your bike stolen. And I would also say that if you're trying to sell your bike, meet up at a police station. Don't just meet up at a middle school. I originally tried to meet up at a police station, but the guy told me that that was too far away from him because he had to walk. and the middle school was closer to his house, so, you know, that is what it is. I made a lot of stupid decisions. At the end of the day, like I said, the police really didn't do anything to get my bike back, and I don't blame them for that, but it was my perseverance that eventually got the bike back, and this guy's stupidity. I mean, I don't know, he literally listed the bike for sale within a week of stealing it in the same town that he stole it, on the same marketplace from which he met the person and stole it from them. That's not very smart. If this guy had been just a little bit smarter, or just even held onto the bike for like a year, he probably would not have gotten caught. But I think that if you have a motorcycle stolen, a lot of the people who buy them are trying to flip them. They're trying to make money off of it. That's what this guy was trying to do. So just be perseverant. Keep looking for it. You know, check Craigslist, check Facebook Marketplace, check eBay even, because they're really just trying to move it, and they think that people aren't going to be looking around on these common websites that people list motorcycles for sale, or they think that the people are just going to leave it to the police to figure out, and the police aren't going to do anything about it because it's such a low priority crime that happens so much. Needless to say, I do have a Honda GROM now. Funny enough, it wasn't even titled in my name at the time. It was titled in the last person who owned it. It was titled in their name while I was trying to sell it. But I have gotten it titled in my name now. I have, I mean, I'm gonna keep it for the winter. I fixed it up a bit, put some new fairings on it, put some new brake rotors on it, new mirrors, and we'll see. I'm not planning on keeping it, but if anyone wants to buy a stolen GROM, by all means let me know in the comment section down below. It's actually in very good condition, I would say, for being stolen. So next summer, we'll see. Planning on selling it. Now, if you've stuck around until this point in the video, that means that you are part of the 1% of people who made it this far in the video. According to the YouTube analytics, very few people, literally 1%, make it till the end of the video. So go ahead and drop down in the comment section and say that you are one of the 1%. Oh yeah. And I appreciate it. I know I haven't been making videos for a long time now. What's up, Jixer bro? But you know, there's just been a lot of stuff, different stuff I've been focused on in life. I went to college. I've been working on career stuff, just not really YouTube stuff, not making and editing videos, but I have some free time here and wanted to make some more videos, so I'm going to be getting back into it. I'm going to make more videos. I'm going to make more educational videos, more entertaining videos, more old school moto vlogs, because there's really not a whole lot of those now. You know, all of the OG moto vloggers, aside from like Baker X Derek, who is a true OG, and he's still out here making real moto vlogs, but you know, a lot of the original people who did moto vlogs kind of moved away from it. So I think that there is a space that needs to be filled that's really not filled right now by anyone making moto vlogs. So I'm gonna make some, get back into it. We'll make a video on, obviously you guys are seeing me on my ZX-10R for the first time. This is a relatively new bike. Actually kind of got it to flip, but I think I'm gonna hold on to it because I really like it. I also have a Harley Davidson Sportster and a Honda GROM, and I've had a few other bikes like the DRZ 400 and the KLX 250, and I'm gonna kind of make a video going over all of those. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you watching this video. If you've watched this far, again, put the 1%er in your comment down below. Bike is so stupid fast. guys in the next video. I appreciate you. You guys stay safe. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or not, whatever.